Imagine a machine so big it can literally move a mountain, not in years, but in days. In this video, I'll show you and explain to you the biggest machines ever built, and some of them shouldn't even exist. The first one is tunnel boring machine, Big Bertha. Now imagine a machine that works entirely underground. A sealed steel giant that eats through solid earth while building a tunnel behind it as it moves. That's exactly what tunnel boring machines do. One of the most famous was Bertha, once the largest TBM ever built. Constructed in 2013 by Japan's Hitachi Zosen Corporation, Bertha measured 57.5 feet in diameter and was assembled underground in Seattle. Its mission? To replace the aging Alaskan Way Viaduct. But things went wrong. Fast. Less than 1,000 feet into a nearly 2-mile journey, Bertha struck a buried steel pipe, overheated, and completely shut down. To fix it, engineers had to dig a 120-foot deep rescue pit just to reach the machine. The delays cost years of work and hundreds of millions of dollars. But in 2017, Bertha finally completed the tunnel. And like most TBMs, it was dismantled underground, never to see daylight again. The second one is bucket wheel excavator. This is the Bagger 293, and it's not just big, it's terrifyingly massive. The Bagger 293 isn't just a machine, it's a moving giant. Built in 1995 by the German company Tachgraf for the Hambach open-pit coal mine, it holds the record as the largest land vehicle ever built by mass, weighing an incredible 14,200 metric tons, heavier than the Eiffel Tower. It stretches 740 feet long, longer than 2 football fields placed end to end. And the craziest part? It doesn't even move like a normal vehicle. It crawls slowly, like a mechanical monster. It takes a crew of just 5 people to operate and nearly 20 minutes just to turn around. At its core is a massive rotating wheel, 70 feet in diameter, fitted with 18 giant buckets. Each bucket can scoop 530 cubic feet of earth in a single bite. In just one day, the Bagger 293 can excavate 240,000 cubic meters of material. That's enough to fill 96 Olympic swimming pools. This machine doesn't just mine the earth, it reshapes entire landscapes. In fact, Germany's lignite mining operations have relocated villages and rerouted rivers just to feed machines like this. Thirdly, we have Seawise Giant, the largest ship ever built. And then, there was a machine so massive, it didn't just dominate land, it ruled the oceans. The Seawise Giant holds the title as the largest ship ever built in human history. Constructed in 1979 by the Japanese company Sumitomo Heavy Industries, it was originally commissioned for a Greek shipping magnate, but over time it changed hands, was renamed multiple times, including Happy Giant, Jar Viking, and later Knock Nevis, before becoming known as the Seawise Giant. At full scale, this ship was almost impossible to comprehend. It measured a staggering 1,504 feet in length, longer than the height of the Empire State Building, and had a deadweight tonnage of over 564,000 tons, making it the heaviest ship ever created. To put that into perspective, it was so large that it couldn't pass through the Suez Canal, the Panama Canal, or even the English Channel. It had to take the long way around continents. Powered by a massive steam turbine engine, the Seawise Giant could reach a top speed of around 16 knots, which is about 30 kilometers per hour. Slow, but expected for something of this scale. And stopping it? That was another challenge entirely. At full load, it required nearly 5 miles, about 8 kilometers, to come to a complete stop. Its draft, the depth below water, was so deep that it couldn't enter most ports in the world. Instead, it operated mainly in deep offshore waters, transferring oil to smaller tankers. But its story wasn't just about size. It was also about survival. During the Iran-Iraq War in 1988, the ship was attacked and severely damaged in the Persian Gulf. It sank in shallow waters and was considered a total loss. Vast amounts of crude oil across the oceans, acting as a floating lifeline for global energy supply. Eventually, in 2010, after more than 30 years of service, it was retired and scrapped in India. The next one is Caterpillar 609, OFS, Hydraulic Mining Shovel. When it comes to raw digging power, few machines compare to the Caterpillar 609, OFS. Weighing over 1,000 metric tons, it's one of the largest hydraulic mining shovels ever built. Its bucket alone can carry 52 to 70 cubic meters of material, enough to fill a massive dump truck in a single scoop. And it moves fast. Unlike older cable-operated machines, this hydraulic giant can complete a full dig and swing cycle in under 30 seconds. Machines like this have completely transformed mining. Fewer machines, smaller crews, but millions of tons of earth moved every year. They operate in extreme conditions across the globe, from the deserts of Chile to the mines of Australia and the freezing cold of Wyoming. The fifth one is Big Bud 747, the world's largest tractor. Not all giants live in mines. Some work the land. The Big Bud 747 is the largest farm tractor ever built. Constructed in 1977 in Montana, it was designed for massive American farmland. It weighs 100,000 pounds, stands 14 feet tall, and runs on 8-foot-tall tires. Powered by a diesel engine producing up to 1,100 horsepower, it can pull enormous farming equipment, tilling 24 rows at once. Its fuel tank holds 1,000 gallons, built for long, uninterrupted workdays. After years of changing ownership, Big Bud was restored and is still in use today, a living legend of agriculture. And here's what makes it special. Only one unit was ever created. Sixth in the list is NASA Crawler Transporter. But not all giant machines are used for digging. Some are built for space. Before rockets can fly, they have to move. And that's where NASA's Crawler Transporter comes in. Built in the 1960s for the Apollo program, this machine weighs 2,700 metric tons and moves at just 2 miles per hour. But when carrying a rocket, it slows down to just 1 mile per hour. It travels on massive tracks, each link weighing about a ton, and carries rockets across a 3.5-mile journey from the assembly building to the launch pad. The platform stays level within 1 degree, because even a slight tilt could damage a rocket like the Saturn V. These machines have carried every American crewed rocket since Apollo, and they're still in use today. Seventh, Prelude LNG, the floating giant. Some machines don't just move Earth, they float on the ocean. The Prelude LNG is the largest floating structure ever built. Completed in 2013 for Shell, it measures 1,601 feet long and weighs 600,000 metric tons, 6 times heavier than an aircraft carrier. It's essentially a floating factory that extracts natural gas from the seabed, cools it to minus 162 degrees Celsius, and stores it as liquid natural gas. It can produce 3.6 million tons of LNG every year. And instead of moving, it stays anchored at sea, designed to survive powerful cyclones by rotating with the wind and waves. Eighth, BelAZ 75,710, the world's largest dump truck. This is the largest mining dump truck in the world. In mining, digging is only half the job. You also need to move the material, and nothing does it bigger than the BelAZ 75710. This massive dump truck carries 450 metric tons per load, about the weight of 150 cars. It runs on 2 diesel engines, producing a combined 4,600 horsepower, and uses electric motors to drive its wheels. Its tires alone stand nearly 13 feet tall. The truck is so large it requires specially designed roads just to operate. Each unit costs around $6 million. Second last machine is Liebherr R9800 excavator. The Liebherr R9800 represents the peak of precision and power. Weighing 810 metric tons, it's built to load massive mining trucks in just 4 to 5 passes. Powered by twin engines producing 3,000 kilowatts, it's engineered for reliability in extreme conditions. Despite its size, it offers incredible control, thanks to advanced hydraulic systems managing enormous pressure. Operators sit high above the ground, with a view that feels more like a cockpit than a construction site. Then lastly, Komatsu D575, a superdozer. Finally, the king of bulldozers, the Komatsu D575, a superdozer, weighing 152 metric tons and producing 1,150 horsepower. It's the largest bulldozer ever built. Its blade measures 24 feet wide and over 9 feet tall, capable of pushing massive amounts of earth in a single pass. Unlike excavators, which lift material, this machine simply pushes forward with unstoppable force. Because of its size, it must be transported in pieces and assembled on site. These machines aren't just tool, they're proof of what humans can build when scale is pushed to the absolute limit. From reshaping landscapes to moving rockets and powering entire industries, these giants don't just work on the world, they change it. But here's what's even crazier. Engineers are already designing machines even bigger than these, which means in the future, these giants might actually look small. So, which of these machines shocked you the most? And if you had the chance, would you stand next to one? And please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more content like this.